Imagine standing on a grassy hill, looking out across a wide, open land. There are no fences, no roads, and no towns, just rivers, forests, and prairies stretching as far as the eye can see. In the 1800s, many people in the United States looked at land like this and believed it was their right to settle it. They believed it was their duty to move west, build homes, and bring their way of life across the continent. This idea was called manifest destiny. The phrase manifest destiny means that something is clearly meant to happen. In this case, many Americans believed it was clear that the United States was meant to grow and spread from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. They felt it was their destiny to take over the land, build cities, and expand the country westward. This idea shaped the history of the United States in the 1800s and led to big changes for both the settlers and the people who were already living on that land. In the early 1800s, the United States was still a young country. Most Americans lived along the East Coast, but the land to the west was filled with rivers, mountains, and rich soil. Many people dreamed of owning their own land and starting a new life. They saw the West as a place of opportunity and freedom. Leaders of the country also wanted the land for farming, trade, and power. They believed the United States should stretch across the whole continent. In 1703, President Thomas Jefferson made a big step toward that goal by buying a huge piece of land from France. This was called the Louisiana Purchase, and it doubled the size of the country. Over the next several decades, settlers, explorers, and pioneers moved west. They traveled by wagon, horse, and foot, often following trails like the Oregon Trail or the Santa Fe Trail. Life on the trail was hard. People faced hunger, bad weather, and sickness. But many kept going, driven by the dream of owning land and building a better life. The idea of manifest destiny grew stronger. In 1845, a newspaper writer even used the phrase to explain why the United States should keep expanding. He wrote that it was America's manifest destiny to overspread the continent. The phrase caught on and was used by politicians, writers, and everyday people. But manifest destiny had serious consequences. As settlers moved west, they took land that belonged to Native American tribes. For thousands of years, these tribes had lived, hunted, and raised families on that land. Now they were being pushed out. Some tribes tried to fight back. Others were forced to sign treaties and move to new lands, often far from their homes. Many Native American people lost their land, their way of life, and even their lives. The spread of the United States also led to conflict with other countries. In 1846, the U.S. and Britain agreed to divide the Oregon Territory peacefully, but in 1848, the U.S. fought a war with Mexico over land in the Southwest. This war ended with the U.S. gaining a large area of land, including what is now California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. By the 1850s, the dream of manifest destiny had mostly come true. The United States now stretched from sea to sea. Cities grew, railroads were built, and new states joined the Union. But the cost of that dream was high. Many Native Americans were removed from their lands. Cultures and traditions were lost. And new problems, like debates over slavery in the new territories, began to divide the country. Manifest destiny is an important part of American history because it helps explain why the country grew so quickly in the 1800s. It shows how powerful ideas can shape people's actions, but it also reminds us to think carefully about those ideas. Expansion brought opportunities for some, but great hardship for others. Today, when we learn about manifest destiny, we try to understand all sides of the story. We can admire the courage of pioneers who faced danger to build a new life, but we can also remember the native peoples who were forced to leave their homes. History is not just one story, it is many stories woven together. The idea of manifest destiny shows us how a nation can grow through hope, courage, and hard work. It tells the story of people who traveled across rivers, mountains, and deserts to build homes, towns, and communities. Many believed they were building a better future for themselves and their children. They faced danger and loss but kept going, driven by a powerful belief in the promise of new beginnings. Their efforts helped shape the United States into the country it is today. But Manifest Destiny also reminds us that progress must be fair and thoughtful. As the nation grew, many Native American communities lost their land, their homes, and their way of life. These losses were deep and lasting. When we study this part of history, we learn that the past is made up of many voices and experiences. Understanding Manifest Destiny means remembering both the hope and the harm. It teaches us that growth should always come with respect for others, and that the best kind of future is one where everyone is treated with dignity and fairness.